Hey everybody, it's Steve with NintendoFuse, and I have a quick review here today of Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. This game released back on December 4th, 2018, and we do want to thank the developer Game Atelier and the publisher FDG Entertainment for sending us a code to check out the game. This is a single-player action-adventure kind of platformer and role-playing game. It's mostly a platformer adventure, and really, if you're familiar with any of our work here on NintendoFuse, our podcast, anything like that, you know that I love a good platform adventure game, and that's exactly what this is. You're going to control Jin, and that's the main character of this game, and he needs to save Monster World Kingdom. And it's basically his uncle is kind of taken over and turned everybody into monsters, and you got to figure out what's going on. And it is this side-scrolling platformer that you control and explore all these different worlds. And along the way, you'll get turned into different monsters, and you get the ability to kind of change at your will, and each of those monsters have different abilities and different benefits or downsides from the others, and so you learn to be able to do change from one to the next when you need that best. And each of the times that you change, it's kind of cool because they all have their new challenges, and it kind of seems like a new game every time you see a new form. And you have to learn different abilities and everything, so it keeps the game really fresh as you're playing through. The game looks fantastic. It runs in 60 frames per second. It runs in full 1080p in TV mode, and it also runs at 720 in handheld mode, but also at 60 frames per second. So it's a great looking game, and you have all these different abilities and side quests and everything as well, which is cool because there's always more game there. In fact, actually you'll have over 15 hours of this game, and it is a $40 game, so it's cool to see that much content in a side scroller where you can kind of explore and see what's out there. It's not just a linear story. There's also some side quests that always keep you coming back for more. It's been a fun experience for me to play this game. I'm always looking forward to seeing what's next, what form is next, what different things can I go back and unlock now, because that's one of the privileges of being able to have different forms, is you can actually kind of Metroidvania a little bit and kind of jump back to other places and get things that you couldn't the first time around, and that's pretty fun to do as well, and just to change forms and see what the abilities different forms have, and that's been pretty cool. Really, there's only a couple downsides, and they're really, really small. One of the things is, I think it's funny that when you're swimming here in the water, you barely move, your feet just kind of flutter along. It seems like they didn't put an animation in there for swimming, and really that's the little things, little animation things that it's almost oh, I wish they kind of spent just a tad more time with it, just to polish it just a little bit more. But overall, it's a fantastic game. It looks great, it plays great, the controls, they feel really good, and really any of the things that I had, I think, a downside with the controls were actually a downside with the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. I think that control stick and the control pad, actually, because they have a little sway in your directions, sometimes you'll find yourself, when you need to do a down smash, for instance, you'll kind of go to the side a little bit if you don't hit it straight on. And the same thing with up, down, left, right, and stuff like that. So it really has nothing to do with the game. It's just kind of a downside of the control pad on the controller itself. But this is a great game. I highly recommend it, actually. If you're a fan of platformers, if you're a fan of adventure games, or you're a fan of kind of Metroidvania style role-playing games, this is going to be a great one for you, and it's going to give you, like I said, over 15 hours of entertainment, and possibly more as well. If you're new to NintendoFuse, make sure you do hit that subscribe button and the bell to be alerted by every new video we post. We do post videos on a weekly basis, usually on Mondays and sometimes throughout the week as well. And we have a lot of different videos out there, from our reviews to our game chats to our podcast to interviews and our industry talk and so much more. So make sure you do check it out and recommend us to anyone else that loves Nintendo. Thanks again.